Oh, I just had the same problem as Julie, and I couldn't get the video. I can't even get my words out. I couldn't rotate the video, and now I've got to try and click you in my contraption without losing you. So just bear with me, and we'll flip you around. Oh, that was a really close up of my nose. Right. Yay. Okay, I'm just going to straighten you up a bit. It's so weird doing a live here because it's different to my contraption at home. Right, let's get ready. I can see a lot of you coming on. Good morning, everyone. I'm glad the day is finally here. Been so excited. Right, I'm just going to grab my bits. I mean, I've just sat there and watched, absolutely blown away by the samples from the DT. They were wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And it does make you happy because it means that they actually get your vision. And it's just so warming. Right, I'm just getting my piles and bringing them down here. Okay, everything's to hand. Let's just... Oh. Now, I'm going to struggle to see the comments because the screen's the other way round, but I'm sure we will be fine. Okay. So I'll just give a couple more minutes for people to join. Firstly, I'd like to say welcome to everybody. Thank you for tuning in. There is a list of available stockists. Julie's pinned it to the top of the page. And if your favourite stockist hasn't got it, then why not? Thank you to my customers who have already ordered. That is wonderful. Thank you. They're being packed as we speak. And yeah, how exciting is this? This is kind of like the final pieces, the glue that holds this whole collection together and extends it so much more. I just love creating with it, and I have actually treated myself to a second set, and I'm going to put this in first. I'm going to show you this first. Okay, so I've made a new storage folder, and this holds the whole of this kind of collection. So I've put a wrap around it, and I have got, let's count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 10. Now, in hindsight, I probably should have done 2 lots of 5, but I'm happy that they're all together because it means I can just pull this folder up and go. So on this first inside pocket, I've got the first 2 stencils, the set of 4 and my dragonfly and butterfly. And these working with the 2 new stencils absolutely blow me away. I love them. I love the look of them. In the back, I've got my 2 new stencils. So that's my stencils on the outside. And then we go through. So I've got the circles, the dragonflies, and the circle alphabet. And then I've got my squares, my butterflies, and my square alphabet. I've then got my background medley, and I've got the sentiments. Then we've got that new happy birthday and birthday wishes, and then we've got them fabulous dies. Just amazing. Yeah, you definitely won't be losing these. You might need to craft with your sunglasses on, but you definitely won't lose them. They're amazing. I just love the way it all works together. And to have it all housed, that just makes me happy. And one day I might even decorate it. You never know. Let's see. Paul, yes, you're going to hear the sellotape going. That is Paul and his tape. Will you please do a video for the storage? Do you know what? There are videos for storage pinned to the top of my page, my group, Hazel and Freelance. They are so simple to make. This here is a piece of A4 card. If you cut it down to 29 centimetres, no, 29 and a half, and you score it at 14.5 and 15, that gives you a wrap. And then you stick your stamp sheet in. Now this one I've done different. I've left the carrier sheet on there and left this blank, because then it doesn't all stick together when I open it. So it just works. And then you just stack them and stick them. And when you make the wrap, you just put the score line, butt it up, and then calculate the depth that you want. And you'll have to add bits of card to it, but just so easy. Have a little look at the video and see how you get on. If you struggle, just drop me a message. Now then, here we go. So I know Julie has showed you boards, but I'm just going to whiz through mine, because I did want to just kind of go through and explain my thinking behind the collection and kind of how it was born. And a lot of things happen off the back of dreams, I have to say, but we'll come to that shortly. So first off, we've got them dies for the butterflies, because yes, lots of you asked for the dies, and it was something that we kind of just didn't think of. But then obviously when you start and make dies after the event, it's like, next time we will be better, and we'll forward plan it a lot better too. But I wanted to make sure that the die set covered everything in the collection. So because we brought out the alphabets, because that was another suggestion, I thought it would be nice to have the dies to cut the alphabet tiles out, which is brilliant. But I also see lots of things being done with this. And it was when I was playing with this die that comes on the strip that the next idea was born, which luckily and thankfully you all get to see, because it was about a week and a half before launch, and that's why we were delayed by a couple of days. So I do apologise for it being delayed, but I think it was worth the wait. So that is our beautiful butterfly collection. And then we have got the dragonfly, the same sort of thing. And again, it was important that those circle dies were in there on a strip, because it allows you to create some fabulous things. Julie's gone through stamping on there. It all just ties and works together. There's just so many possibilities. It makes me excited. It gives me butterflies. And then we've got the happy birthday and the birthday wishes. Now this was important to me, this set, because I thought the first thing that people are going to want to do is happy birthday. And it's got a lot of letters in it. And I thought, you know what? It would be really good if we had a happy birthday done, welded together with the die cut, because you can do those and have them ready in a little box. And it's stuff, you know, I've got a little box with loads of die cuts in there ready, so I can just dip into them. And I think these are going to be a go-to, because they're, like Julie said, they will go with anything on your craft desk. We've got the circles, you've got the squares. It's just wonderful. Now then, I just want to show you a little bit more on the stencils. So let's get the right way round. So we'll start off with the squares. Will you do... Oh, I've seen that one. I'm trying to keep up with a few of the... It was definitely worth wait. Thank you. So here is the square stencil in its raw state. Now, this is the dream. So I'd got my collection. I'd got it in front of me. We were waiting to launch. And I looked at it and I was like, nah. I don't have like OCD, but I do like things in line and perfect. And I thought, right, well, I want to make like a Scrabble board, but they're going to need to be equally spaced. And I looked at the die and I started to try and create myself a stencil so I could line everything up. But then I thought, wow, that would be a wonderful background and an alignment tool, and it just fit. So these were born. So we've got the squares and we've got the circles. And then from there, like Julie said, I held the two stencils up together, and I'm just going to... It's kind of a diagonal thing. You go across a diagonal, and there she saw the flowers. And it was like, wow, okay. So that is where this pattern comes from. Julie's going to go into that a bit more detail later. So if you want to see more, do tune in at 8 o'clock for that one. Pop them. Look at me being good, popping them straight back away. I've even got clean stamps. So let's just have a look at this. This is really quite, I'm going to say quite trippy, but you know, it's by moving the stencil over and down just to see what you can get so many different patterns with these. And then around, that's just random stenciling. So even though it's a square, it doesn't have to stay square. You can do so much more. So that's that one. Now this one, honestly, this is like a tablecloth. And when I was playing around with it and in fact, when I told Julie about the scent, she was so excited, and it was lovely to see that she absolutely instantly got it, and she'd got so many ideas stacked up. And Julie likes to sketch her ideas out, whereas I start to make a card, don't know what I'm making until I do it. Everybody works differently, and there isn't a right or wrong way, but just look at the effect. Now you'll see a panel down this side, because I loved this one here, and I loved the fact that I'd got it really quite even. And this side I decided to rotate again, which took away my like lime effect. So it's nice, but I prefer this side. So it depends how many times you rotate it. Again, look at this though. This is like waffles gone wrong. I absolutely love this. This would be brilliant on a boy's card. Just a simple happy birthday, even with more multicolours. But I do have to say, every sample that I'm going to show you in a minute are made from Twisted Citron, Uncharted Mariner and Peacock Feathers. That was my favourite trio, and I just made all my samples from that just because I liked it. So let's have a little look. Now, one of the first things I wanted to do was tie in the dragonfly and the butterfly stencil with my new stencil. So I did this very, very simple, and I've used the squares. So I've die cut the squares, I've put my square sentiments on, I've got a bit of stenciling in the background, but I've also got the outline of that dragonfly, and it's totally flat, and that is just done by layering stencils. And I love that so much that I thought, do you know what, I need to have a go with the butterfly now. Oh, and you'll notice that just because they're packaged, like the dragonfly is packaged with circles and the butterfly with squares, I flipped it because there isn't any rules. Of course, they all go with everything. So then I made this one, and I absolutely, I love this. It's the same technique, but just taken to another level. Again, totally flat. You can see all of those little words that come in with the circle medley. Got that circle one in the background. We've got these are raised, the dream. It's just kind of pulling everything together. I absolutely love. They were my favourite, but then I made the others and they became my favourite. So this, I think this was probably the first card I made with the sentiments. I just made lots and lots of them, inked them all up to make a background, and then just die cut out some butterflies, keeping it simple with them 3 colours. We've got some circles in the background there. I just love how the whole collection ties in together. What else have we got? So then this one, so the new stencil, elements of the first stencil. We've got that lovely birthday wishes in there. We've got the butterflies. Now, I mean, I did this the hard way. I could have just die cut 4 butterflies and popped them on the front of the card, but I did apertures. So I cut an aperture, inked behind, and then laid these back in. I just think it's a really beautiful dimensional card. Lots of elements all tying together. That's my favourite card with the little butterflies. Ah. So that's that one. Now, this one has got the birthday wishes, and I made it the focal on a larger card. This is an 8x8 card. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the birthday wishes, but then we've got the beautiful statement of that large dragonfly on there, and I've kept it quite plain and simple. And then we've got the other 2 with the circle medley in the background. Just really, really effective. I would show you the insides, but I'm not that organised to have done the insides of them yet. This is another favourite. Okay, so this is the dragonfly, but I know I've got the dies there and I've done the die in the background, but I then did fussy cut because it gave me a border. I really, really loved the look of it. So we've got a nice bit of sparkle on this one. And then down the side here, I actually cut the apertures through the card with the die to make birthday the right amount of letters. And then I cut the squares and just kind of offset them to give me that beautiful drop shadow. And then we've got the happy from my sentiment set. We've got that beautiful background. And then all of the other elements that pull together. So another really nice one. Now then. So this next one is, it was my dream. This is how it panned out in my dream. So I have a frame. It's going to be really hard for me to show you this on here. You all know how much I love my frames. So I've made myself a super deep shadow box frame, and I've used the butterflies, I've used the dragonflies, I've used a circle stencil. We've got the circle medleys on there. We've got bits of script, and I've continued that theme all the way around on all four edges. But then we have got on the top, we've got our 3 butterflies, all die cut and painted. And then on this edge here, we have got, it's really hard to show you at this angle. We've got our dragonflies, but then have a look in there. So we've got Hazel and Paul, we've got Rebecca and we've got Katie, but we've got those squares in the background because I've die cut these. The stencil allows you to easily place your square over a square to create your Scrabble board. If you didn't want them raised and you wanted it flat, you would keep your stencil on and pop your stamps through the stencil to easily align and create your Scrabble word effect. Now, I know that the stencil is only kind of roughly 6 by 6. Don't let that put you off if you're doing a bigger project. Because it's total symmetry, you can extend it as much as you want. You could do this over a 12 by 12 sheet. All you scrapbookers out there, Dawn McPhee, this would be perfect on your scrapbooking. You will love this. And then look across the top here. We've got family. So I created my own jaunty little background with one of the squares from the square medley and then just stamped my wording in there. How amazing would this be for a gift? This would be a fabulous workshop, wouldn't it, Vanessa? Absolutely. Yes, I can do that. Look at that. So that is my samples. Now, it's all right me... Oh, look, I love this too. It's all right me saying, like, this lines up, that lines up. I just want to show you a few things. So, although we're not going to be making anything, I think it's important for you to see the process and the simplicity of die cutting and stamping to get excellent results. So, let me just get my stamp book open. We will start off with... Maybe we'll do one of each, and because it will work for all of them. So I'm going to take a butterfly die and a dragonfly die, and I'm just going to die cut them through. Now what you might want to do is kind of keep a master copy. I'm just hoping my phone doesn't slip out of here because it's wobbling. It's wobbling the table. Let me just see if I can push it in. Oh, I'm not going to touch it in case it falls. Okay, so that gives us our perfectly die cut elements. So from there, I'm going to use this piece and I'm going to use this piece. Now, there's lots of different ways that you can stamp and die cut, and I know that we've done this lots and lots of times, but there's always new people joining in. So what I like to do, pin this in here, like so. And then go into your stamps, and I like to do it on a black background so that I can get a clearer view of whether I'm in the right place. So I've put that in place. And this wouldn't matter if it's going to be one of the tiny alphabet tiles, the sentiment, the tiniest butterfly. It's all going to be the same process. And then do that one. Once you're happy, clap your hands. Pick that up. Now, what you can do, just as a test, slip another piece of card behind there. Get it all tucked in. So that when you ink your stamps up, and stamp them down, if for any reason you haven't quite got them stamped straight, you see now actually that is perfect. But what you can do, you can then move it so that it is positioned perfectly. But I'm happy with that. So what I am going to do is take that out of the way. And there's a reason behind that, because if I'd have left it there and then put these in, the ink would have still been wet and it would have marked the back. But actually, there's a technique in itself, isn't it? Because these are symmetrical. In fact, I need to try that. Let's ink these up. And then just stamp those down. Now, I love these because they've got a bit of fleck on them. So I hold down and just gently squeeze that, and that gives you a perfect print every time. So when you have done, you have got the most perfect die-cut stamped butterfly and the most perfect die-cut stamped dragonfly. Now, while I'm there, I have got to try it. I'm going to tell you, I've never tried it before. Right. Right. You know what I'm going to do? I just hope my stamping platform's clean. Okay. So now, we've got double-sided. So simple. You don't need to die cut too. Just turn them over. How fabulous is that? Because, oh, that's going to be... See, look, my mind is whizzing. Oh, I love that. I love it. Okay, sorry. Excitement getting through. So, I have showed you everything. Now, I'm wondering if I can unclip this without it... Uh-oh. I'm trying to... that's it. Okay. So I'm holding you now. Thank you to everybody that's tuned in. I hope you love what you've seen as much as Julie and I do. A big thank you to Julie, because without Julie, it wouldn't be possible for me to bring these designs out. Absolutely love it. Every time I do one, I'm just like, whoa, I can't put them down. And I hope you're the same. We both have been blown away by the amount of samples that you are posting all the time with your collections. It's wonderful. So keep up the good work, and do catch us. So 4 o'clock for me on this page, on Julie Hickey Designs, and then 8 o'clock for Julie. And we'll be creating, getting messy. That'll be fun. So I'm going to sit back, have a cup of tea, check all of the comments. And see if there's anything I need to answer. But have a lovely day. And yeah, take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.